All right, today's the day we find out everything we broke. So first of all, got to find out why this thing's hard to start after running initially. I know the timing's way off, fueling's way off, but I also don't think it's charging right. And our last run we had a bunch of water go everywhere, so we're going to look at that. But I think the first thing we're going to look at is the one that's going to make the pain happen for real. So this one's crunching pretty good. I think it's rear diff. So what I'm gonna do is crawl under there and take a good look, make sure we don't have a broken drive shaft or something. I'm hoping rear diff, honestly, because if it's transmission, that's gonna hurt bad. It's gonna hurt really bad because I just found out, much to her financial dismay, Suncoast will build me a new ZF, so they're like 10 grand though, and I don't have that, anywhere near that. So step one, we're gonna crawl under here and see what's going on. Mabel's here to help. Hey Mabel.
What are you doing? What are you doing, Smoker?
What are you doing, good girl? Good ball. But before I crawl under here, I'll give you a quick shot. If you haven't seen the lineup lately, these are the ones that sleep outside. Anyway. Then we've got the 66, the 56, and Sarah's Datsun sitting in storage. That one, I still don't know if I'm going to park that out. That's MK's Mustang. My 2500 Dodge. That little tire right there's a Jeep, and then there's a Pathfinder. Anyway, back to the task at hand. So, hop in. I'm just gonna film the scary noises for the people. All right, so go ahead and start it, and then I want you to put it in drive. And when I tell you to, just pop it back in neutral. Go ahead and start it. Yeah. All right, go straight to drive. That's 100% in the diff. Let me get down there and check. I gotta make sure the drive shaft's spinning. And then, are you in park or? Okay, next time, go to neutral for a second so it stops making noise. And then put it in park. Because there's nothing stopping the drive shaft from spinning right now. And you throw it in park, if the tranny's not hurt, that'll hurt it. So, all right, let me crawl under here. All right, so that diag was actually pretty easy. It's what we thought. Rear diff is a disco party. I'll figure out where to get a diff from. I'm just gonna put a whole diff in it. And when one shows up, we'll tear that diff out and we'll see how good you did for your first diff explosion. Honestly, for how violent the wheel hop was, if you watched the last video I posted, it's the last clip of the Maserati running. Pay attention to the marks on the track by the left rear tire. Keep in mind, it was Sarah driving. She's never driven anything with any kind of actual power, and she's never felt wheel hop, especially not tire shaking. She has no idea what to do. So, learning experience. And racing, you're gonna break, so it's all good. They made more than one. We'll fix it. It's just a broken car.
Anything like that with the Fiat.
So, two things. That is front wheel drive and does not have sticky tires like that. When the weight transfers, it takes weight off the front, which allows the tire to spin more freely. So the wheel spin's not as pronounced, and you just feel it kind of slip, like you're not going anywhere. With that, especially being independent rear, when the weight transfers, it plants weight onto the tire that's trying to spin. So you get grip, then the suspension will unload, you get slip, grip, slip, grip, slip, grip, and that's where the wheel hop comes from, is the wheel's actually coming off the ground. It might only be that much, but it comes off the ground and it spins up. When it hits the prepped surface again, it sticks and it shocks the whole drivetrain. Honestly, best thing in the world that happened is that the rear diff broke. It would have been cooler if an axle broke, but when an axle breaks, it snaps off and it starts whipping. And because you didn't know what to do and you continued going down the whole track, that would have just whipped around the guts of the car the whole way down. By the way, your time on that run, 48 seconds. You passed the starting line right as we got there in the golf cart, and it was 48 seconds, and I thought that was the funniest thing in the world. All right, let's turn our attention to what we actually want to race this season. Keep in mind, that's going to be a drag and drive car. As ugly as it is, we'll paint it, but that's the intent for that car. This is our local track hero grudge truck that we're trying to put together. So, but some things I already don't like. One, a stock radiator full of junk, currently not holding any water. At the end of that run, all this was wet, all this was wet. It was wet down here. So what I think happened is when I shifted and I went through the beams and I let off, there was water going in the carb and it just killed it. I did check at the track that it cranked still, but that's as far as I got. I didn't try to fire it up. We're going to look at a few things. I'm going to check the oil, make sure there's no water in it, make sure it's not the head gasket goofing up. But what I honestly think is happening is this cap isn't sealing. Another thing I want to get rid of is I don't like this electric water pump setup. If I keep it electric water pump, I'm going to change it to like a Proform or something and get rid of this, because this belt just isn't very tight and it's out of adjustment. I just don't like it. All right, so it's not great, but that's after 2 runs, so I gotta think the charging system's trying to do something. All right, I'm gonna flip this switch. So I need some power. Let's see if we can jump it off. The other thing we got to figure out is why is this thing an ether baby? Every time I started it at the track, I had to use starting fluid. And this should not be the case at all. Okay. That ain't it. It's way too rich. I gotta figure out the timing on it. You dial back the jet on the car, but it's way too fast. But Chuck's cold and I'm cold, so it's alive and good. I'm gonna get a new radiator and cap in it. Then we'll try to run it this weekend. One other problem to take care of is I'm not getting full throttle on that, so we got some adjustments to make. New setup woes. Like I said, I picked it up on, what was that, Tuesday? We went and picked it up. It never came off the trailer till Friday. I had it on the trailer took a little bit of timing out of it just to make it a little lazy. Ended up turning it very lazy. So we got some work to do. I've got to crank some timing back in it, rejet it, get full throttle, figure out where the hell the water's coming from. I think it's right here, which should be easy enough to go replace. It's a 16-pound cap, but I don't know. It's either coming from there or the radiator itself. So we'll see. And then there's things I don't like about it. Like I hate the rear suspension setup in this thing. Ball joints are all wore out because it's all stock front end stuff. So I need to get new front springs, control arms, just stupid stuff knocked out on it. And then we'll get back up to the track. The other biggest thing that I see wrong with this setup is it's got power brakes with no vacuum going to them, and the motor don't make enough vacuum to run them. So I'm either going to have to convert to a manual brake setup. That's probably what I'll do. Save space and weight. And it's got a vacuum pump for crankcase ventilation hooked up, but I don't know where it's pumping any of that oil to. I'll have to dig into it. But the main thing is that water leak, timing, and fueling. And then we'll go see what we can do. Maybe this week we'll try to get it into the 7s. Again, this is all 8th mile stuff. I've been asked several times. Most of the tracks down here in the south are 8th mile. We have a couple quarter-mile tracks. But just for educational purposes, NHRA started as 8th mile. Cars were getting faster. Complaints from racers made it quarter mile. Now the cars are getting so fast, even the NHRA is pulling back on that a little. And man, any of your small tire shootouts, little gangsters, 10.5 stuff, 275 radial stuff, just about everything is going 8th mile. And I ran quarter mile for ages, so I know the struggle going from quarter mile to 8th mile as far as your in the brain mass. I'll be honest, just get over it. Quarter mile seems to be a Western thing now, and 8th mile is a Eastern thing. But down here in the South, it's almost all 8th mile, and honestly, it's better on parts. You get the races done quicker. It's funner as a driver. I'll be honest, I loved quarter mile, but it's hard on components. If someone oils the track to hound the cleanups are longer, the track maintenance is more expensive, the entry fees are more expensive. There's just a lot more to it. So there ain't nothing wrong with 8th mile. That's what we're gonna get back into running. And I'm sorry if this video quality sucks. But yeah, that's where we're at. That's the update on what we broke this weekend. I'm gonna probably focus on the S10 because the Maserati just needs money. A rear diff install isn't the end of the world on one of those. Yeah, hope y'all are having a good one. Hope your all's week goes a little bit better than what I think mine's about to be. But we'll get after it. I got some maintenance on some of the dailies that I got to do this week too. So we'll see if we can't get the S10 figured out this week and see if we can get back to the track this weekend. Time will tell. We'll see y'all soon.